Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand. We're here at Carrington, giving you some exclusive access to some footage of the players before the Real Betis game this Thursday night. The press conference has just finished now. Ten Hag and Marcus Rashford, we're just going through everything in that there. We'll bring you that footage as well, but here is some exclusive footage, like we said, of the players just warming up before their main training session. Then we have to just walk away, but there you go. Okay everybody, here we are with your exclusive footage of Manchester United's training session ahead of Real Betis on Thursday night. This is going to be a full-on session of try and spot the player. Snoods, woolly hats, everything going on. So, just to clear a few things up, I am your resident Carrington cabbage head. I'm going to be talking to you through our this training session. Just so you know, our cameraman Ryan has a super lens. He's been mentioning numbers, 700, double whatevers and numbers and all sorts. So what you see is different to what I can see. You've got a nice close-up version. I'm stood way back in the corner of Carrington here now trying to spot players. And all I can see right now is woolly hats and snoods. And, oh well, one player I definitely know is there. He's Anthony with his nice white hairdo. So that's one guarantee. I suppose many of the British media that are here just to the side of us, they will be looking for Bruno Fernandes and his position here in this training huddle right now. That was one of the main talking points in the press conference, talking with Rashford and Ten Hag earlier on. That footage will be up on the channel as well later, but the press conference itself was dealt with and was very good. Marcus Rashford spoke really well next to Ten Hag. It was a stance, you could say, of sorts, one of unity behind Bruno Fernandes. That's what, like I said, the main point of questions going towards Ten Hag and Marcus Rashford were about Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, there's been some pundits, a lot of ex-pros saying that Bruno Fernandes should be stripped of his captaincy. We've been speaking to United staff here at Carrington. A lot of the accusations of him wanting to come off the pitch are all false. He didn't request that. We know that now. And Marcus Rashford and Ten Hag both fully behind Bruno Fernandes, talking about his qualities and talking about how good he is on and off the pitch. So, yeah, I just got a signal off my cameraman there. So if I do cough every now and then, you know, man flu is man flu. It just has to be dealt with in its own way. Shut up. I'm trying to talk. This is what happens here. Anyway, I'm sure this little group huddle going on right now is one of cameras are out. Let's look United. Let's look like we're ready for this Betis game. It is about bouncing back from that horrible weekend at Anfield. I mean, as a United fan, I struggled for a couple of days to even try and figure out what went wrong. I still don't know exactly what went wrong at Anfield, apart from us just completely losing the plot. That's the best way I can describe it. Mentally, we were struggling big time in the second half. And I think a lot of players were probably looking at themselves after that game going, we do need to do a little bit more, well, an awful lot more in games like that. It's about handling that atmosphere, handling things going wrong at Anfield, which you always do. You're always going to get the crowd getting behind the officials and things like that, and decisions not going your way, and we just didn't handle any of it well. I think a lot of the players would have learned a lot from that. Ten Hag was saying that in the press conference. He was saying that we have to learn from that, take the positives from a 7-0 defeat. It's hard to figure out where that positive's coming from, but if you could say one thing, it would be that you learn from your big mistakes and you don't let it happen again. That result could never happen again. And I'm sure all these players here, well, they're Manchester United players, will never want to be on the end of another defeat like that to Liverpool. So I think training-wise now, looking ahead, Marcus Rashford said it in the press conference as well. He's confident in his teammates about bouncing back. There is a good mentality within this group of players. Obviously, a week before that debacle, which was Anfield, we were picking up our first trophy in 6 years. So you look at it and you go, there is definitely a mental strength within this squad. Whether it was tired legs, tired minds at Anfield, I think it was game 42 of the season. So, but you got to look at it and you've got to go, well, it's no excuse really. You're expected to play multiple games as a United player. As a player's just come close to us now, we can name pretty much everyone there. We've got Dalot, Varane, McTominay on the front row that I can see. I'm just looking out for Bruno right now. Can I see him? There he is at the back with his hoodie on, I think. Not hoodie, his beanie on, next to Martinez and Antony. And yeah, it is kind of hard to spot any player. You've got a lot of the British players here not wearing hats. You can tell a lot of the foreign players not liking this sort of training weather. But the drone's out, this training session. The last one now before United can officially bounce back and put that Liverpool game behind them. As we remember from the last training session we did, they tend to, at this stage of the session, get into two groups. A bit of keep ball, man in the middle. This is where it's going again. It's very, very interesting. Yeah, maybe the weather will be having a little effect on that. But last time we was here, it was all laughing and joking. Everyone was in high spirits. I think it's been probably the biggest test for these players. I mean, obviously the start of the season, 4-0, 2-1 against Brighton. Training sessions would have been, I'm guessing, not pretty, and the vibe wouldn't have been one of positivity. But we moved past that and everything. Sorry? Varane and Casemiro, what? Yeah, they're there. I've seen Varane. I've not seen Casemiro yet, but yeah. Sorry, people are talking to me again while I'm trying to work. Unprofessional. But, yeah. Looking at it, everyone pretty much there. I'm looking for Harry Maguire. He's at the back, I think, with a snood on. But yeah, like I said, last time I was here, before the Barcelona game, it was one of laugh, joke, positivity, good vibes. Seems a little bit more serious, I would say, today, more than anything. The cold may have an impact on that, obviously. Kit down, not really a time for laughing and joking around, but yeah, it's at this stage, a little warm-up session. I'll move across to the pitch on the left-hand side here, adjacent to us. Once this bit is done, and then Steve McLaren will get to work on the players. That's usually been the schedule on these open training sessions. But yeah, it is looking like we've got fully fit, apart from the obvious, which is Martial. I'm guessing Jadon Sancho is in there. It is hard to see from where I am who is in what snood or what actual beanie hat going on there, but yeah, looks like we have got a fully fit squad. You can see Weghorst at the back in the second group. Pretty much named every player now. We've seen Bruno obviously before as well, and now just waiting to get confirmation of Casemiro. I haven't seen him yet. No one around me said anything about Casemiro yet or seeing him. He must have a hat on. Is there? Yeah, so yeah, just got confirmation. That does look like Casemiro with his back to us. Yep. That's the one, yeah. Okay, so yeah. The rumours regarding Casemiro and him being possibly playing with an injury at Anfield should be put to bed here. Training with the first team squad. Erik ten Hag doesn't let anyone train with the first team squad if they are not fully fit. We've seen that with Anthony Martial, who has been training on his own before we got the bad news that he is going to be out till April. I think that was last week. But looking at the group now, it's as expected. Everyone there, everyone who should be there. And hopefully we're going to get the reaction that we all want from this United team in the game tomorrow night against Real Betis. I'm guessing in this group right now are the forwards that are out here. Obviously, people have been calling for a bit of a change up in the front line at Manchester United. Weghorst has been called out for his lack of goal contribution. Is Garnacho going to come back into it? Will Jadon Sancho get a start in the team? I mean, I can't see Garnacho right now. Last time he walked out for this open training session, it was quite obvious because he'd just done his new M&M haircut, but I think he's got a woolly hat on today somewhere in that group. And it's hard to see through the snow actually, but yeah, maybe Garnacho gets a start, maybe Ten Hag just goes with the same team again. He tends to do that a lot when questions are asked. Give them players a chance to actually prove themselves again after a bad result, but we will see. I guess there isn't going to be too many changes, maybe 3 best. And actually, I've not seen Luke Shaw yet, actually. That's one player that's going off the list. He's one of these wrapped up players again. I'm not too sure. I'll wait for someone just to confirm that. I don't know if anyone else has noticed Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw. Just trying to get a bit of a spot. I don't think Luke Shaw's in this first group. And I'm struggling peeking through. Is he there? One player who is key and has been key for United this season has been Luke Shaw, and just trying to peek through the crowds and through the groups into the second group. I still can't see him, so possibly no Luke Shaw, unless that's Luke Shaw in the blue hat right at the back. I can't see. You guys have probably got a better view than I have right now. My cameraman has deserted me. I don't know where he's gone. Is it? I'm just going to have a quick look through a posh camera. But Martial. Yes, Martial is actually in training, which is very strange from what I was hearing and what we were told last week. Martial in the training squad is really positive for United. I've just been kindly given permission to look for a very posh camera next to us here, which has just got a close-up version of Anthony Martial. That's massive news for Manchester United, the fact that Martial is back in the training squad. I think there were that many questions for Ten Hag in the press conference regarding the reaction from Liverpool and bouncing back, that questions regarding players who might be fit for this game weren't brought up. Obviously, after a game like the one against Liverpool, priority in press conferences and question types go towards what's been happening. And Luke Shaw is there. Shaw and Martial are both. This is a fully fit Manchester United squad here in front of us. Now, this is going to be very interesting. With Martial in this training squad right now, that to me would signal there is definitely a place in the matchday squad for Martial. Where the news came from that Martial was going to be out for a longer period of time, I do not know. I didn't even see him walk out. It was only until someone just pointed him out to me now that I realised that Martial was actually back training. That's massive news for Manchester United. Really good positive news ahead of, obviously, this busy fixture list coming forward. Obviously, United progressing this game, hopefully. Then we're on for another two-legged tie in the quarterfinals. Fulham, when we get back from this one, international breaks coming up. I really hope that Martial doesn't get called out for the French squad and he can just stay and try and get his fitness back while that international breaks on at the end of this month as well. That will be huge for him. So yeah, it does look, I mean, if you wanted a little bit of positive news after such a bad weekend, Martial being back training with the first team squad, obviously everyone there. Casemiro, we had to worry about him being possibly injured. He is there. Luke Shaw, he's there as well. And everyone you want to be actually training right now is there training. There's no one else apart from Donny van der Beek that is out and missing. And United have options going forward right now. But, like we said, the biggest news of this training session and Martial being there, I didn't even see him. That would be massive because that gives us the option now in that front line to mix things up. Weghorst has pretty much started every single game since coming into Manchester United. With Martial being back in this squad, does that change things up? I think it changes things up massively because we know that Martial is Ten Hag's go-to man. Big games coming up. Would he have made a difference at Anfield? That type of player? Yes, it would have. It would have. Yeah. So yeah, and a close-up look here, you're looking at it, Martial, he's in the thick of it. Obviously, we're finished here in a couple of minutes and the main training session going on, we're not going to see that, but signs are good for Manchester United here. The fact that he's in the group, I mean, we've been here last week, the week before, for the Barcelona, and Martial was on the opposite pitch. Ten Hag shut it down every single time, saying that Martial wasn't going to be ready. He's not going to be selected. He's not even going to be an option or tested. Him being here in this squad right now is good signs. Hopefully this training session carries on and Martial he's in the thick of it with the other players when training really kicks in. This, like I said, is just a warm-up right now, and the players will move across to the pitch here to our left-hand side. We've been given our 2-minute warning by the United staff saying that we are leaving in a minute, so hopefully everything goes well post early warm-up session, and we've got a full squad to pick from come tomorrow night. But yeah, that is us finished, done and dusted. We just had our shout. We're done here. Cheers for tuning in, everybody. Hopefully we brought you some good news post Anfield that we have got a fully fit squad again, and all options are open for this Betis game. We will see you tomorrow night.
Good afternoon all. Welcome everyone to our pre-match press conference for our UEFA Europa League game against Real Betis tomorrow. We're joined by Erik ten Hag and Marcus Rashford. Please raise your hand if you want to ask a question and identify whether it is for Erik or Marcus. We'll have Spanish translation available if needed. Let's get going with Simon.
Hi, question for Erik. You obviously had the debrief after a difficult day on Sunday. What did you learn about the group? What conclusions did you come to? Are you confident about the bounce back?
Of course, we have to set conclusions, and that's what we did. And of course, we talked about, and of course, we have seen that game and set the right conclusions. And from there on, we have to reset and bounce back.
Sí, la primera pregunta era, obviamente, ¿has podido ya hablar con el grupo y destacar un poco lo que pasó el domingo cuando perdiste el partido? ¿Estás confiado de que puede como rebotar el equipo y has hablado con ellos y estás confiado de que lo pueden hacer? Y la respuesta, claro que sí, hemos hablado de esto, hemos sacado conclusiones, el resto del grupo, y estamos confiados.
Jamie.
Do you feel the players who played for you at Anfield are sort of let you down? So all you can do is put them on the field, coach them as best as possible, but then it's up to them at the top professionals. Do you feel personally let down by the way they perform?
No, we are in the same boat, and we do it in togetherness, and so we win together, we lose together, and so we make a mess on Sunday, and we have to deal with it.
¿Sientes que los jugadores, porque al fin y al cabo lo que puedes hacer como entrenador es poner los jugadores en el campo y es ellos que tienen que rendir? ¿Sientes que te han fallado? Y la respuesta, no, estamos todos en la misma situación, tenemos nuestros objetivos y ganamos juntos, perdemos juntos, fracasamos el domingo, pero lo hicimos juntos.
Anton.
Sure. Erik, you talked a lot about standards since coming to the club. Bruno Fernandes as captain, did he meet those standards, and is he captain going forward?
Yes, definitely, and I think he's playing a brilliant season, and he's a really important role why we are in the position where we are, because he's giving energy to the team. He's not only running a lot and in the highest intensity, but also in the right way, in the right direction. And he's pointing and coaching players. He's an inspirator for the whole team, and but no one is perfect. Everyone has his mistakes, and everyone has to learn. I have to learn, and he will learn as well because he's intelligent. And but I'm really happy to have Bruno Fernandes in my team, and I'm really happy that Bruno Fernandes is Harry, not on the pitch. He's our captain.
La pregunta era que has hablado mucho, Erik, de los estándares que hay que hacer cuando estás aquí en el Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes también estaba a la altura de estos estándares y más adelante va a ser tu capitán, va a seguir siendo tu capitán. Y la respuesta, sí, sin duda, ha tenido una temporada maravillosa. Es una persona muy importante que nos aporta mucha energía, no solamente por la forma de correr, pero sino su intensidad, y también enseña el camino a los otros jugadores, también dando indicaciones en el campo. Entonces estamos muy contentos con sus niveles. Es un jugador muy inteligente y tengo que decir que estoy muy contento con él, y estoy muy contento. Si Harry Maguire no está en el campo, él será el capitán siempre.
Adam.
Question for Marcus. Marcus, you're a role model for so many young players. Going off the disappointments of last season and now being a consistent top performer this season, can you just tell us now what changes you made, what differences you've made? Has it been anything to do with the new coaching setup that's come in under Erik ten Hag, and just subtle changes that you might have made this season?
I think probably the main thing is that I come into the season fit. I was 100% fit. I had a good training camp in the summer with my team before the pre-season, and then when I met up for pre-season, it's obviously a change because we had a new manager, new staff, new way of playing, and it was exciting to me. I just wanted to give it everything I could, and I've not looked back since then. I feel like we've come on a lot as a team, and we've won big games in our style of play, and it's been a while since I could sit here and say that. We've beat big teams in the past and we've won big games, but we've always had to do it a different way to how we'd prefer to do it. But this season we've gone out and tried our best to play our way of football and try and win games.
Obviously, weekend, you're a local Manchester lad. It was a disappointment. I know that will cut deep. Are you confident in the rest of the squad in the bounce back now after that disappointment at Liverpool, especially after having such a positive season so far?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like, just touching on the Liverpool game, Liverpool versus United's a unique game. It doesn't matter about form. It doesn't matter about individuals' form. It's a special game of football that's just decided in the 95 minutes that you're on the pitch. And, going in at half time, it could have been a different game. I mean, I missed a chance from Luke's pass at 0-0. That could have been 1-0. We had 2 or 3 other opportunities. We probably should have went into the half time leading, but we wasn't. We was down 1-0, and we wasn't in a bad position. We felt like we could still go there and create chance in the second half. But it's Liverpool, they can take the game away from you, and that's what happened. So yeah, like the boss said, it's about resetting now. That's all we can do. There's no point dwelling on what happened because we can't change it. So yeah, we just press the reset button, go back to the basics, and give 100% again to try and win the game on Thursday.
Thank you.
Just 2 questions to go through in the translation. La primera pregunta era, Marcus ha sido como un ejemplo para los jóvenes jugadores que están en el grupo. ¿Cuál ha sido el cambio esta temporada? Porque esta vez vemos que estás jugando muy bien. ¿Ha sido un cambio que has hecho? ¿Ha sido el cambio del entrenador, Erik ten Hag? ¿Cuáles son los cambios? La respuesta. Bueno, para mí lo principal era que estoy en condiciones. Empecé la temporada a 100%. Estaba trabajando con mi propio grupo en el campo, y después, antes de llegar a la pretemporada y después al llegar a la pretemporada, estaba en condiciones. Tenemos un nuevo estilo, una nueva forma de jugar, y estaba muy contento en ello. Y entonces ahora estoy dando el todo y no miro para atrás. Hemos ganado contra grandes partidos, contra grandes equipos. También lo estábamos haciendo en las últimas temporadas, pero siento que estamos jugando de nuestra manera y estamos haciendo muy bien. Y la siguiente pregunta era, obviamente era muy difícil lo que pasó el fin de semana en Liverpool. ¿Cómo puedes remontar, como ha dicho el técnico? ¿Cómo puedes remontar? Pues es muy difícil. Un partido de Manchester United y Liverpool es un partido único donde se puede decidir el resultado en los 90-95 minutos. En el descanso estamos haciendo muy bien. Yo fallé mi oportunidad después de un pase de Luke Shaw para darnos el 1-0, y después tuvimos 2 o 3 ocasiones claras que podemos haber montado la diferencia. Entonces entramos en el descanso 1-0 y no estaba mal, pero es un partido único y Liverpool te puede atacar y cambiar las cosas. Entonces tenemos que nosotros remontar y ir haciendo lo que estamos haciendo antes.
Simon.
Marcus, what do you say to people who say that as a team in the second half you just gave up and stopped playing, stopped running? And also, what do you say to each other in the dressing room immediately after the game?
We didn't give up. That's nonsense. We was unorganised, yeah. Communication was bad, yeah. That's why we conceded the goals. But it comes down to the fact that, you know, I believe that everyone was trying to get back into the game that much. We come away from the team's principles in and out of possession. You know, I mentioned it after the game. I felt like the forwards was trying to press as just a forward unit. We weren't connected with the midfield, and then the same with the midfield and the defence. And you know, we was trying to get a grip of the game when it was 2-0, when it was 3-0. We was talking, but I don't think we was, you know, really in agreement of what to do. And listen, it's happened, and the only thing we can do is learn from it and move on. So I'm happy, I'm grateful that we have another game so quickly, because we have an opportunity to you know, take a step forward from the last game and put it behind us.
La respuesta es que, ¿qué dices a las personas que dicen que ustedes habían rendido en el partido, pararon de correr? ¿Y qué se dice dentro del vestuario? La respuesta, bueno, yo no estoy para nada de acuerdo con esto, eso no es lo que pasó, quizás nos faltaba un poco de organización como equipo y un poco de comunicación dentro del equipo. Yo creo que en todo momento estábamos intentando ponernos de nuevo, ponernos en el partido, pero perdimos un poco nuestros principios, tanto con y sin el balón. Creo que la conexión entre la forma de presionar que teníamos, no estábamos muy conectados, y obviamente 2-0, 3-0, quizás no estamos de acuerdo en lo que estaba pasando en el partido, pero como hemos dicho, tenemos que aprender y ya tenemos un próximo partido. Estoy muy contento que tengamos un partido a la vuelta de la esquina y vamos a intentar imponernos también de nuevo en ese partido.
Dave.
A question for Marcus. You said on social media you can't let somebody define the season. How do you make sure that doesn't happen? And also from a mental and psychological point of view, how do you feel when, you know, is that one of the lowest moments you've had in playing for Manchester United, losing in that manner to your biggest rivals?
Just losing against Liverpool's enough. It doesn't matter the scoreline. When you lose a game against Liverpool, when you lose a game against any of your biggest rivals, it cuts deep, and you know, it's not nice. It's never a nice feeling. But for me, I just always remember how many games that we've won against them, and they have the same feeling. So it's football, you know. It's why everyone loves the game so much. But yeah, it's obviously disappointing. But like I said, we can't dwell on it and look back. We just have to be, you know, thankful really and grateful that, you know, the games are coming thick and fast. You know, because of all the principles that we've had from the beginning of the season, we're in a position where we're still fighting on all fronts, and we still have a lot of games to play. So, you know, when we have a game like we did against Liverpool, we want to play as soon as possible because we want to put it right. So yeah, tomorrow hopefully we can do that.
La respuesta era como dijiste en las redes sociales que no quieres que el partido contra Liverpool define la temporada. Pero ¿cómo está el equipo mentalmente, físicamente? ¿Puede ser el punto más bajo que has tenido en tu carrera aquí en Manchester United? Y la respuesta, creo que solamente perder contra el Liverpool es lo suficiente, no importa el marcador. Obviamente, una vez que pierdas contra los grandes rivales, te duele mucho porque se van a recordar de esto, pero también yo me acuerdo de todos los partidos que hemos ganado y es por eso que las personas aman al fútbol. Obviamente estamos desilusionados, pero no podemos seguir pensando en esto. Estas alturas de la temporada tenemos muchos partidos que vienen muy rápidamente y tenemos que volver con nuestros principios y saber que estamos peleando para todos los títulos. Y estamos contentos de que tenemos un partido mañana y que podemos volver a poner las cosas bien en cómo jugamos como futbolistas.
Neil.
Marcus, can I just ask your thoughts on Bruno as someone to play alongside and as a captain?
Yeah, I love playing with Bruno, as you can imagine. I think for a forward, you know, like me, he's a perfect player to play with. You know, I think he's been a good leader for us, even when he's not been captain, which is always a good sign. He's helped other players become better leaders, and the reality of it is we can't be a well-organised team with just one leader being the captain. So he's done a lot for us in terms of bringing his leadership skills in, and that was from the moment that he arrived. So yeah, I don't have anything negative to say about Bruno. Like the manager said, nobody's perfect. Sometimes you want to win so bad, you end up doing things that are a little bit out of character. But listen, 100% support Bruno and behind him. And I think as a team we have to support him because he's a fantastic player. And like the boss said, we won't be in the position that we're in if he wasn't playing games for us.
La pregunta era como, ¿puedes hablarnos un poco de lo que opinas de Bruno Fernández como jugador, como persona, como capitán? Y la respuesta, a mí me encanta jugar con él, para mí es perfecto, es un buen líder y de hecho era un buen líder antes de ser capitán, siempre estaba ayudando a los otros y eso ayuda a nosotros a saber las cualidades de liderazgo también. Entonces es un líder que tiene muchas habilidades y lo ha sido desde la llegada aquí en el Manchester United Old Trafford. Como ha dicho el entrenador, nadie es perfecto, entonces vamos a estar 100% apoyándole, respaldando a él, porque, como hemos dicho, no estaremos en la situación en que estamos sin él.
Last question, Paul Hurst.
Eric, can you just give us an idea of how the players have reacted over the last 48 hours? Have you been satisfied with the way their attitude, their response to what happened on Sunday?
Yes. I think they reflected well. We know, but we also know when you go in the season, setbacks will always be there, and this was a huge setback, clear. But when you are, we had a run of, I think 23 games with one loss, and now was the second. But of course, the way there was a lot of lessons in it, and it can help us for the future, and that is what we have. So the positive out of it, and how negative it is. That is, we were really below average, especially mentally wise. So we have to take the lessons. We want to be a big team. We want to win trophies. So then you have to act different. And I think, after Sunday we got a big lesson, and we take that. But now we have to move on, and we have to look forward. And so that is the way we treated it. Now all the energy, all the focus has to be on the next game.
Sí, la pregunta, perdona, era, Eric, ¿me puedes decir cómo han reaccionado los jugadores en los últimos 48 horas después de lo que surgió en el fin de semana? Y la respuesta, la reacción ha sido muy buena del grupo. Sabemos que durante una temporada vas a tener contratiempos. Eso fue un contratiempo muy grande, pero antes de esto habíamos ido 23 partidos con solamente una derrota. Esto fue la segunda y ha sido una buena lección para ayudarnos en el futuro. Ahora lo que tenemos que decir que jugamos muy por debajo de lo que esperamos del equipo, pero he visto que la mentalidad de un gran equipo es querer ganar trofeos y es una lección muy importante. Pero ahora tenemos que no pensar en esto, ir más allá de esto y pensar en el futuro y traer toda la energía y todo lo que podemos hacer para el próximo partido, que sería mañana.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.